They are then asking in the B part of this question, based on effective interest rates alone. Oh, you guys can't see. My bad. Sorry. All right. So, the part B of this question, they're saying based on effective interest rates alone, which of the proposals offers the company the best rate? Okay. So to calculate this, remember we need to compare apples with apples, isn't it? Okay. So we then have to get the effective interest rates for all of these proposed companies, isn't? How do we get the effective annual rate? Yes, you use your calculators or the formula. What is the formula? EAR is equals to what? Open brackets, yes, 1. I must open bracket again, the smaller one. Okay.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
The power of M minus 1.
This part. Okay. Like that. Is that what you're saying? Hmm. Yes, that's what I'm trying to do. The one must be outside of these small brackets, isn't it? Hey, why isn't it doing the things? The one must be here. Am I right? 1 plus. And then the big bracket. Mm-hmm. Minus 1. In the test, I could see that we don't know this formula. All right. Which is fine if you know how to use your calculator. But I was seeing both disasters. Huh? So, guys, please make sure even in the deferred, I saw this M was inside the second bracket. Okay, which obviously gives you a different answer. So they did everything right. And then when applying, they then obviously missed out. So, we then obviously just need to input. Okay. And when you are dealing with, if you've already apportioned your interest rate for days, right? You then don't need to divide by M. So in this case, let's say for bank A, okay, so you're saying 1 plus the interest rate for bank A. Well, we actually don't have it. We actually have to calculate it. So we need to say 1,572 divided by 100,000. 1,700 and 1,001.5. 72 divided by 100,000. Okay. And then M is our number of periods, right? So we say 365 divided by 30. Okay, and then minus 1. Whilst you guys are working that out. We then go to bank B. And we do the exact same thing. Because remember, our period is 30 days. So we have a year of 365 days. To find out the number of periods we have in the year, because remember, we're trying to get the effective annual rate. So we're trying to get the rate per year, isn't it? So that's why we're doing it that way. Is it making sense? Because M is number of periods. So here. And this is 150. And then finally, for Bank C, you guys can see. Divided by 90,000. Do we have some interest rates there for us? Do you have some interest rates? Anybody? And those who are using your calculators, maybe we can double check to see. Are we getting the same answers?
M would be 12, right?
M, yeah, it would be 12. It would be 12. If it were me, I would even include whatever the decimal comes. Yeah, I would also include that. What are we getting? Said the first one is what? R is, yes, R is the rate, which is what we've calculated here. That's what I'm also getting for the first one. Remember, you're not going to divide by M. Again, yeah. What are we getting for the second one? You can do that. You can definitely do that. You're basically looking for the annual. Using your calculator.
No. Well. Not for fun, not
Okay. This is a great opportunity to check. Is it working when you use your financial calculator? Now you're not. Well, I remember you want to simplify this first. Yeah, so simplify that. So you should have 1.57, something like that. So I think that's what you need to do. Then you should be fine.
What do you feel confident?
So this is where now you're shifting from a nominal rate to an effective annual rate. So the keys will be different, but basically, you are trying to shift from a nominal rate to an effective rate. I can't explain the actual steps because it would be different. I know mine is your actual recommended what you call it, and most of you guys have HPs. But you can YouTube it. They also have it on YouTube for both calculators. Are you winning? So it's something that requires practice, guys, because yeah.
Yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a difference now. We're not dividing it by M anymore. I think there's a slide that
Maybe there's
the
that
input
that you
have to be like.
slightly different. Yeah, that's worth investigating as well. Okay, so which one are we going to select? Which bank proposal are we going to take up? The lowest, yes, which is obviously Bank B. Can you see that? Because remember, this is interest that we are going to have to pay at some point. So we want to pay the least. Exactly. Exactly. If we were investing, we would be going for Bank C. And wouldn't that be beautiful return? 28%. Right. So we've got that done and dusted. We then go to part B of this question. Part B, which then also marks the end of our learning unit 5. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. We are moving. Those who are banking class, you wake up. Oh, this Friday? On Friday. So you show up for your classes. It means that what? All the stuff. No, I'm not. I'm not stressed. I'm not stressed. So here, what are they saying? Determine whether the company should accept the supplier's offer of the early settlement discount and the bulk purchase discount. Okay. Round all answers, sorry, to the nearest rand. Round all percentages to 2 decimal places. Okay. So here, Orange Limited places monthly orders with its supplier for 20,000 of finished goods. Okay, so already you are circling, you are marking that 20,000 per month, isn't? Then it goes on to say annual demand for the finished goods is 200,000. So annual demand, 200,000 units. The supplier's credit period is 60 days. Okay, so we've got a credit period of 60 days from the supplier. Cost per order is 300 and cost per unit is 10. All right, so the order cost is and cost per unit, okay, is 10. Then the current holding cost per unit, all right, per annum is 1 rand 50. Okay, super. The supplier has offered the company either an early settlement discount or a bulk order discount. Okay. The settlement discount would involve the supplier offering the company an early settlement discount of 1.5% and a discount period of 15 days. Okay, so basically if we need to pay our account within 15 days in order to get this 1.5% discount. Okay, so then they go on to say the bulk discount would involve the supplier offering the company a bulk purchase discount of 4% for order sizes of 50,000 units or more. Okay, so instead of ordering 20,000 units at a time, we need to order 50,000 units or more. If the bulk discount is taken, the holding cost per unit storage facilities to accommodate the larger order size will increase to 3 rand 50 per unit per annum, as the company will need to seek additional storage facilities. Okay, I see I didn't add that here on this. Additional storage facilities to accommodate the larger order sizes. All right, all right. And then it goes on to say, okay, so this should actually be coming from here. Okay, you know what? I'll fix that later. Okay, so then it goes on to say the company has access to short-term financing at a rate of 7.5% per annum, assuming there are 365 days in a year. Okay, required. Determine whether the company should accept the supplier's offer of early settlement discount and the bulk purchase discount. Okay. Round all amounts. Okay, we read that already. So first things first, we need to find out what is the cost of foregoing the discount, isn't it? What is the cost of foregoing the discount? So what is the formula to calculate the cost of foregoing a discount? D over? My students, my dear students. Times what? Divided by? Okay, so we know our discount is what? 1.5%, isn't it? Okay, so 1 minus 1.5, that should give us 8.5%, isn't it? Then times 365 over, we have 60, yes, that's the period for the credit period from our supplier, minus how many days to get the discount? 15. Okay. So what is the cost of foregoing the discount? Hmm. What do you say? This is what you should be getting. That's what you got. So this is the cost of foregoing the early settlement. So in other words, if we don't take advantage of the early settlement, we are basically paying in the price of these goods an extra 12.35%. Is it making sense? All right. So now the question then arises, should we take the discount? Because we have funding of 7.5%, short-term financing. It is, yeah, they tell us this. Just above the required, says the company has access to short-term financing at a rate of 7.5% per annum. Assume there are 365 days in a year. Bum, 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 bum. Somebody read in the back of our textbook. What do they say? Part B, early settlement discount. That very first paragraph after the Part B, early settlement discount. What are they saying? Remember, early settlement discount means we get our goods for less, isn't it? So basically, we are getting a discount of this amount on our goods if we take advantage of it. This is the cost if we don't take advantage of it. Can you see that? This is the cost, the 12.35 is the cost of not taking advantage of an early settlement discount. Mhm. And do what with it? We take the 7.5 financing, right? And then what do we do with it? Let's read what it says in the back of the textbook. Anybody? Yeah, just that small paragraph there. Mm-hmm.
Budget 60 minus 15 budget 100 is higher than the cost of borrowing funds from the bank. 7.50%. Hence, it will be cheaper for the company to borrow short-term funds at the cost of 7.5% and take the supplier cash funds.
What are they basically saying? Let's unpack.
It's cheaper, isn't it?
Yes, it's cheaper, so we are going to go and get this money from the bank, right? What are we going to do? There we go. And then we're going to get that money and settle early our inventory, because then we're going to take advantage of this discount on our goods. Can you see that? Because early settlement, we're getting a 1.5% discount. So that's what they mean when they say you are going to take the financing and then you're also going to take that, because we can fund the discount with the money from the bank. This is making sense because it's cheaper than if we use our own money. Because if we use our own money, then we're paying that 12.35. Yes, you're going to take the early settlement. So that's the first part of the question, isn't it? Then the next part that they wanted us to determine is whether we will take this bulk purchase discount. Okay. And with a bulk purchase discount, we need to then obviously compare our current expenditure on our annual goods, or with comparison to if we were to take this proposed deal. Does that make sense? So when you are then comparing or trying to get your total costs, you are then, number one, going to ask yourself, number of orders that we are going to make, right? Number of orders per year. Secondly, you're then going to say the number of orders, right? Let me just do this. Your number of orders, right? Then times the cost per order, okay? Then from there, number three, you're then going to say, what is the holding cost of this proposal or our current policy? And number four, you're going to then say the annual cost of your inventory now. The total that we get, okay, on our current policy will then be compared to the total that we get on our proposed. All right, so let's fill this in. So we are then saying on our current policy, actually, let me do this Let me make a copy so that we can just do the filling in on the proposed. Okay, so for our current policy, they told us that we order 20,000 units, and they told us our annual demand is 200,000 units. So we're obviously saying 20,000 divided by, to get the number of orders we make a year, divided by 20,000, the amount that we order every month, which is obviously going to give us 10 orders. Can you see that? Then we are saying number of orders times the cost per order. So we got 10 orders times what is the cost per order? They told us it's how much? 300 Rand. So that then means we are spending 3,000 every year just in terms of ordering our goods. Then the holding cost. What's the formula for your holding cost? Dun, 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 dun. And this is homework, guys. What is the formula? This is where my students get tricked out. Remember, our holding cost is how much? They told us that holding cost is 1 Rand. Is it 1 Rand? Holding cost per annum is 1.50 Rand. And then times what? Yes, number of units, which we know is how much? Yes, but there's a trick to it, guys. Remember, there's Q divided by quantity. Remember, we're saying quantity in terms of the quantity that we order. And then you're supposed to say divided by 2, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I just want to find. Or maybe is that in learning unit 4 where they actually give an example of that. But there should be one here. I think I was looking at one here. Nope, not in here. So it's in learning unit 4. Definitely. Do. Yeah. So you're talking about the quantity that we order per period, which is 20,000 at a time, right? Because we're only holding 20,000 at a time. Then we are then saying divided by 2. That's how you get so it's quantity divided by 2. Okay. So that obviously is giving you 10,000 times 1.5, which is the cost per unit, which then gives you, is it 15? That's the formula. I think what they're doing is they're calculating the average. So I think that's why, because I mean, if you think about it, they, regardless of whether we had ordered 30,000 or we had ordered 50,000 or 20,000, you're going to divide by 2. So I imagine that's the logic there. And if you check at the back, that is the holding cost, right? Okay, so we're still on the right track. Then your annual cost of inventory. Annual cost of inventory is what then? How do we get our annual cost of inventory? This one is now more straightforward, right? How do we get 200,000? Because that's our annual demand. Yes. Times 300. Is it 300? Is that the cost per unit? 10 rand is the cost per unit. Aha. Times 10 rand. So what do we get here? Okay, and when you add up all those costs, what are you gaining? How you sub? Bin, you can have it. Right. So we literally are now coming to the proposed. Can you see how? So you guys must know this structure, what I've put together for you in green. And then just make sure you remember this. When getting your holding cost, there's that divided by 2. Because those are the small things that obviously rob us of our marks. Okay. So this is not rocket science. We then just apply the values that they've then provided. So I'm now just going to show you what then your proposed should look like. So there you can see you've got your current, what we just calculated now. And we had that 2,018,000. And then obviously, since they did not tell us that our annual demand changed, right? So we still have an annual demand of 200,000, but now we're ordering 50,000 per month. So we can take advantage of the discount, isn't it? So instead of having 10 orders for the year, we're obviously going to have less. We're going to have 4. Okay. And obviously that then changes the cost of our orders. So we're going to say 4 times 300 per order. We then obviously have 1.2. So there you can see that's gone down quite significantly. But now with our holding, can you see something interesting? Now, I don't know why they've done this. They should, in a nutshell, basically your formula is Q, quantity, divided by 2. But can you see they've put this rand amount first? Okay, which I feel might confuse the students. So I prefer if it's 350 times. Okay, but anyway, mathematically you arrive at the same place. Okay, but just for the sake of consistency and knowing what the hell is going on, yeah. Anyway, you get the point. So you can see now, but our revised holding cost has gone significantly higher. Because now remember they also said because we're now ordering at 50,000 instead of 20, we're going to need additional storage. So this is why we do these calculations to see the impact of certain variables changing, increasing and decreasing. What's our net effect? Which one proves more favorable for us? Then obviously our revised annual costs for this inventory, we're still taking the 200,000, but times the 10 rand per unit, but we have a, is it 4% or 1.5% discount? What did they say? How much was the discount that they offered? 4%. It is 4%. Oh, okay. In my mind, I had 2% or something like that.
That's previous.
The previous exercise. Okay. So then we obviously say 96% of that since we have that 4% discount. And believe it or not, we end up with a total cost on inventory of 2,008,700 rand. So are we going to take this? Yes, we are, because we are saving 9,300 when we get the difference between the two. Okay. So the company will benefit financially if it takes the bulk discount offered by the supplier, as it saves 9,300 per year. Some of you in your test, so you tell me, yes, we're going to take the discount, but there's no calculations to back your answer. I go through a lot, guys. Go through a lot. But needless to say, that is all we wanted to cover for today. Any questions, thoughts, or concerns?
So
by 12 months. Again, something that is just part of the formula. Even in second year, that's how we were doing it. You're asking all the right questions, sir. All the right questions. Yeah. That's why I just said maybe they are just looking for an average. Because if you are saying average, then we're not concerned with the actual. Does it make sense? But yeah, that's how they do it. 96. 100 minus the 4%. Right.